Hello and welcome to the August 2023 flyover for the Te Ahu Turanga Manawatū Tararua Highway. You're flying with Caitlin Lavery today, and I'm the site ecologist on the project. I'll be talking to you about some of the ecological works we do across the project alongside construction. So we're starting in Zone 1, so at the bottom of your screen you can see the new local road which has just been opened to traffic, which is very exciting. The old section of road to the right is where the new roundabout is going to be, which will be the start of the highway from the Ashhurst end. Coming up on your left, you'll see some orange frames. This is the Form Traveller, which will go up on Pier 1 soon for Parahaki Bridge. It will be used to construct the concrete box girder superstructure, which is part of the bridge the road will go on. The southern abutment at Parahaki Bridge is now coming into view. There's been a lot of progress on the structure since the last flyover. Construction of the superstructure has begun on Pier 1, Pier 2 is complete, and Pier 3 is nearing completion. Work has started on construction of the north abutment. So we're now coming into the Eco Viaduct. The final remaining column is about to be completed. 24 beams are now in place on the piers. 18 more are due to be installed between now and November this year. The bridge crosses an ecologically sensitive area of Raupo wetland and swamp mauri trees, which has been strongly protected by Kaitiaki and Ecology over this project. On the right here you can see a completed permanent wetland pond. Now these are used to treat the water collected off the main carriageway before being discharged into the waterways. So this is a very exciting construction because New Zealand has 10% of its wetlands left in the country. So any construction of wetlands is a very important thing. Now you can see large open areas on either side of the road. Now, these are all being planted by a landscaping team over the last couple of months. This is exciting because it's the first planting that has been done on the highway itself. Previous seasons have focused on planting at offset sites away from the highway. This busy team has already planted 200,000 native plants since April, and they're on track to put 420,000 in the ground before October. In total, about 2 million plants will be planted throughout the whole project, and soon our 1 millionth tree will be planted in the project. Coming up on the right, you will see our GRS living wall. Now this wall is protecting the forest you can see below, which is a QE2 protected forest. The landscaping team will soon be abseiling down from the wall to start planting, which is very exciting for everyone. They're going to be planting native trees on the face of the wall to tie in with the rest of the forest structure. Now on the left you can see piles of aggregate. We store the aggregate here to be trucked down into Fill 9 and laid as pavement. We're now coming into Cat 13 where the bulk earthworks has already been completed. Network drainage is being installed. You can see the manholes installed approximately every 25 metres along the right hand side of the cut. You can see as we're flying along the staggered cut faces of Cut 13. Now these are being hydro-seeded, so it will all look like lush grass along this hillscape. Coming up on the right, you can see a stream diversion in Fill 11. This stream has been a huge undertaking for all of the crew in this section of the project, including Kaitiaki. Following along the stream diversion, we're coming into Fill 12. Now, Ecology has spent a lot of time in this area looking for pipit nests. Pipits are a small New Zealand endemic bird that live in grasslands and open farmland habitats. Fill 12 has had the most pipit nests from anywhere else in the project, with 3 found in 2022. When we find a pipit nest, a 25-metre cordon has to be constructed around the nest. All construction works have to stop in that area until the birds have fledged and moved on. We're coming now into fill 13. Fill 13 is one of the remaining fills still to be completed. This one needs to come up about 17 metres. Recent critical culvert works were completed here without any ecological incidents in this tricky and high-risk gully, but progress has been slow here due to lots of rain in the recent months. We're coming now into Zone 3. Progress has been very slow in this zone at the moment due to the wet weather that the crews have had to deal with. Zone 3 has been one of the trickiest areas ecologically. Now, this is due to the amount of stream works in the zone. There have been thousands of fish, tuna and coda species that have been found in these works. They have all been relocated or reintroduced to the streams that they were moved from. What you can see here is a selection of stream diversions in a constructed box culvert, which leads into a wetland area and a pond. In this wetland area and pond, we have found many tuna, longfin tuna, and these tuna have been estimated by Kaitiaki to be at least 100 years old. We're coming up to Bridge 5, the Te Ahu underpass. This structure is now completed, including the MSC wing wall. You can see the shared use path crosses from one side of the highway to the other via this structure. Throughout Zone 3, our earthworks teams are continuing to work on filling when the weather allows. Zone 3 is the home base to the erosion and sediment control team. On the right here you can see an SRP or sediment retention pond. It is the job of all of the ESC team to maintain these ponds to be able to keep our waterways free from sediment from the project runoff. As you can see, there is a lot of erosion in this area due to the material of the landscape, plus the heavy rain that we've all encountered throughout this winter. We are now coming up to Bridge 10 and into Cut 25. So Cut 25 is one of the last big cuts still to be completed on the project. As we move into Zone 4, work continues in Fill 18, with the culverts in here nearing completion. We're now moving into Cut 28. Now the drainage works for this part of the project are almost complete. Once the earthworks hauling through here is finished, work can start on pavement construction. Part of what the Ecology team does is surveys prior to any construction work. Now as we're going through Cut 28, we can see on the left hand side and the right hand side forest blocks. These kinds of areas have been thoroughly surveyed by many ecologists since the project has begun. Our surveys include lizard surveys, surveys for invertebrates such as snails, forest nesting bird surveys, and of course pipit surveys like we did in Fill 12. Coming up here on the left hand side, we can see the twin sediment retention ponds. These two ponds have a huge catchment load off of Cut 28. We're now coming up to the Manawatū stream bridge, where good progress is being made on the MSC walls. The MSC walls for the eastern abutment are nearing completion. The Super T concrete beams for this bridge are currently being fabricated and will start to be installed later this year. Through fill 22 here, you can see the grey Papa fill extending out into the flats towards the new Woodville roundabout. And this brings us to the end of this month's flyover. Thank you for listening. It's been great to show you the progress that's been made over the last few months.